Hello everybody, before we start this video, I want to discuss a new app called Piece Amino. It's for all the One Piece fans around the world to come together and join and discuss this amazing series. I personally believe the greatest series of all time, and it's for you to actually interact with other One Piece fanatics or fans, fanboys, tards, or just casual fans. You can interact with them, and as you can see, you can go click on the links in the description box. It has the links to iOS, like you can get the links. You'll see it in the description box, or you can go to the App Store, type in the One Piece Amino, and you will find this app as you see the screenshot in front of you. Definitely, if you see me, I have already made a post on One Piece Amino. Follow my account, interact with me, because this is a great place. I'll be honest here, this is a great place to interact as a One Piece fan. You can make many amazing polls. Like I myself have already made a poll. Who is your favorite Yonko? And I've said my favorite Yonko. My favorite Yonko is Blackbeard, if y'all don't know. But to put it simply, it's a place to meet like-minded people who like the same thing as you, the series known as One Piece, and I honestly believe that you all should download it. It's going to be a great thing. That's pretty much it. Let's get to the video. Kid versus Law. Now today's video is a really interesting video. The two characters known as Eustass Kid and Trafalgar Law. These two characters are monumental characters when looking at the bigger story in One Piece. These two characters are Luffy's closest rivals other than Blackbeard. They are part of the worst generation, some of the top tiers when it comes to the worst generation, amongst other characters. And I feel like today's video, these two characters, ever since Shabundi, the 3 captain episode and chapter, I have to talk about these two characters. Now joining me today for this video is SJ Captain. He is a great One Piece YouTuber. Check him out. His link will be in the description box down below. But yes, he is a fan of Law, and I thought it would be a great video to do with him and discuss many different things when looking at these two characters, Eustass Kid and Trafalgar Law. Now the first thing I want to talk about is who do I think is stronger when looking at these characters, Eustass Kid, Trafalgar Law. Now honestly, my thoughts on this is pretty simple and my logic is pretty simple, but I have no problem with people who think the other way around. I believe Eustass Kid is stronger than Law, and here are my reasons. Now, looking pre-time skip, the tier before the time skip, we see that Law and Kid and how they're introduced. Now, I'm not going to say bounties determine everything. We've seen many bounties that don't determine strength, but Oda does not do bounties. Some bounties are for reasons. Now we know Kid had the highest bounty of all the supernovas, and Law was around like 5th or 6th. I know he was just above Apu and under Hawkins, X-Drake, and those characters. So we know that Kid was shown to be the only guy above Luffy, and we know they gave us a reason because he was harming citizens. But I feel like that reason kind of justified to make it look like Luffy and Kid were kind of the same level. And by adding the 3 captain situation with Law, it kind of made those 3 characters the top of the class. But I still feel as Luffy, Kid, these two are above Law, but I could be wrong. But I feel like Kid is above Law when looking at who's stronger, but who knows. Law has a really OP Devil Fruit. I put him in my video called 7 overpowered One Piece characters. His power is amazing, and it's really a toss-up. They're really close. It's high difficulty whoever they fight, but I believe Eustass Kid is stronger.
Yo, what's going on, you guys? SJ Captain here. Yo, thanks again for having me on here, Mac. But yeah, Law versus Kid. Yo, now both of these characters are amazing. Their designs are cool, they contrast, and they have a lot in common when it comes to Luffy. But what I want to talk about first is their strength. Who is stronger between these two characters? Now we know with Kid's Devil Fruit, he has the ability, the power to control magnetism, pull or repel objects away from him. We saw it back at Shabundi, and he's just been wrecking havoc in the new world, yo, like except when it came to Kaido, of course. But that's a different story in itself. Kid's Devil Fruit has potential to be insanely powerful, insanely hacks. Imagine his Devil Fruit awakening when we get to see it in the story. But honestly, I have to go with my gut. I feel like Law is stronger than Kid. I mean, Law has a lot of hacks moves. His Devil Fruit is hacks, and even without his blade, he still has Gamma Knife, he has Injection, Counter Shock. Yo, I think Law has a lot of hacks, insane powerful moves under his arsenal, and I just think that gives him the edge over Kid. Another thing that I feel like I should bring up is the connection between Monkey D. Luffy, Eustass Captain Kid, and Trafalgar D. Law, Trafalgar D. Water Law, whatever you want to call him. Now we know they're 3 captains. captains. We know they want to go after One Piece, or they want to be Pirate King. Law, it's a bit shaky at this point in the story, but nonetheless, they at one point in the story, they've all wanted to go after One Piece. And we know they're going to reunite in the new world. They said it themselves on Sabaody. Once we meet in the new world, we're not going to be holding back. Kid told Luffy himself, don't hold back. I'm not going to be pulling any punches. Once we meet again in the new world, it's a war. So I don't really feel like they're connected by chance. I feel like they're connected by fate. These three amazing captains, all of them are in the worst generation. They want to be Pirate King. They want to go after One Piece. They're going to cause havoc in the new world. And yeah, I just can't wait to see where destiny takes these three.
Now looking at the matchup, will these two characters fight? Eustass Kid, Trafalgar Law, will these characters fight? Now I believe these characters, I'm not too sure, to be honest. Yes, it's kind of weird. I usually have a yes or no answer. I'm not too sure if these two characters will fight. Now looking at it, I feel 100% Eustass Kid and Luffy will fight. I feel like that's a 100% fight. It's been built up for so long. But when it comes to Law and Kid, it's kind of had its build up with the Sabaody arc and the situations there, but it hasn't really had that since. But I do think if there is a situation which Luffy has to go on to fight Blackbeard, I feel like the person who can who can keep Kid at bay would be Law, and they could have an epic battle. We know both of their Devil Fruits are extremely hacked, so it will be a crazy matchup, and seeing them fight, because let's be honest here, people have been comparing Kid to Shiki, Law to Whitebeard, and Luffy to Roger, and I have no problems with that comparison. Who knows, maybe even Blackbeard and Luffy are the two characters in which I feel like they will fight for Pirate King, and Law and Kid might be an end of story matchup that might happen after Kid fights Luffy. But if I had it my way, the three matches I would have had is, first of all, I feel like Luffy and Law should have a fight. Even though they're so close right now, I feel like these two characters definitely should have a fight. It would be really interesting to see what would happen in this fight if you want to compare it to White, because we know Whitebeard and Roger did have fights. I also believe Kid and Luffy is definitely confirmed to have a matchup, and it's going to be one of the greatest fights in One Piece. The build-up Oda has had since Sabaody, oh, we're going to get something amazing. And lastly, I definitely see a possibility, end of story, Law versus Kid, and it would be one of the fights in which who knows who will win, who knows who will come out on top. I feel like it'll be equal, in which they're just fighting until Luffy gets the job done. But yeah, these two, I can see it happening, but it's still a toss-up. It's 50-50 for me. Now, the character that I like more has to be Kid, and I know this is weird because Law has got more screen time. Law is more loved in the fan base. Kid is like forgotten about. Kid is seen as fodder, but it's weird. When it comes to characters, I usually like them when I get more screen time with them, but Kid is something way different. I feel like I know he's gonna get some hypeness. I know he's gonna get some greatness. So when I saw his character design, his badass intro, I was like, Kid, yeah, this guy, I like this guy's attitude, the way he goes with things, that's the crazy speech he had in Sabaody, you know that, talking about the Celestial Dragons and the filth, like it's hype, let's be honest, it's hype when it comes to Eustass Kid. His power is amazing. But I do want to say this, Law, recently, after rereading the series multiple times, I gotta say that Law as a character is one of the, like, he is a really well-written character, and it's tough not to like him. That's why recently Law has risen up way high in my ranks. I used to think Law's overhyped, man, why does someone like him? But actually seeing the series Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, I'll be honest here, Law is probably a top 5 supernova now, because I love the character Law, but it's kind of tough because I used to be like, yo, I don't really care about Law, and it's kind of the rivalry between Kid and Law, and you gotta love it.
And when it comes to versus matches, yo, there's always one little factor that you have to throw in there. You know, who do you like more between the two? Now, me personally, yo, I feel like Kid gets disrespected. He gets shitted on a lot. I feel like Kid is going to be an amazing character, an amazing rival for Luffy. I mean, out of all the worst generation members, I feel like Kid's going to be that rival for Luffy. I don't think Kid is just going to get destroyed by Kaido and then he's just going to be out of the story just like that. But if me personally, yo, I like Law more. I like Law's design. I like his backstory. I like his abilities. Yo, like, Law is just that cool, man. And the fact that he has the will of deed, that caught me off guard. That shocked me, yo. Just everything about Law's character. I don't really have a problem with Law. I really like Law. Like I said, yo, his design, his abilities, his Devil Fruit is crazy. Especially since he has the ability to give life to someone else, or eternal life, to sort of say, at the cost of his own. But Law is just, he's been through a lot, and the fact that he's still going, you know, he's formed his own crew, and he's still doing his thing. I respect that, and I feel like Law is one of the greatest characters in One Piece. But yeah, thanks for having me on here, Mac. Of course, if you guys want to check out my channel, I'll probably be in the description below. SJ Captain, SJC Captain, whatever you want to say. Go ahead and check me out. I make One Piece videos as well. Thanks again for having me on here, yo. Law versus Kid. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, please, yo. I definitely want to read these. And yeah, I'll definitely see you guys next time.
Leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about these two characters? Who do you think is stronger? Do you think there's going to be a future matchup with these two characters? And the question I have to ask is, who do you like more? Definitely check out SJ Captain. He's a great One Piece YouTuber, as I said in the beginning of this video. Description box, click on the link and subscribe to his channel. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers because he's so close. And that's pretty much it. Like and share if you enjoy. Like and share only if you enjoyed. And subscribe for more One Piece videos. I'm the Legend Mac, and I'm gone.